Alright, so we're going to go over how to teach the air squat, kettlebell swing, sit up, deadlift, and shoulder press. So every time that we do anything, we always want to explain to them, first of all, what's their stance, what's their grip, and then what's their position. Okay? So air squat, this one's the easiest stance. Okay, we're shoulder length apart. We got our palms, this is our grip, it's up towards the ceiling. You can tell them that that's to help keep their chest up, help keep their spine in the right position. Okay? And then when you come down, starting and standing up, we're going to come all the way down, hip crease below knee, okay, or as low as you can. And then from there, standing up until you completely lock back out. Okay? So that's an air squat. Things that you want to watch when you're teaching an air squat. Okay? Obviously the stance, grip, and position, but then okay, where's their chest when they start to come down? Okay, a lot of times you see people round over. Okay, so we don't want to see squats like this. All right, so you want to make sure they're keeping their shoulder back, chest up. All right, when they're doing their squat, also watching their knee position. You want their knees to go outwards. Okay, that's a big thing to teach from the beginning. So you push your knees out. Okay, to make room for your torso to come down. All right. Okay, and the last one too that's important is their butt. Okay, their butt needs to come back to start. All right, so they need to send their hips back, then come down. All right. A lot of times I explain this by saying, you ever have grocery bags and hit your butt up against the cardboard or shut it? Okay, make sure that they're sending that back first and then coming down. Okay. Whenever you're teaching, and this is just a general rule from the start, make sure that you're in control and people aren't just going and doing their own thing, okay? Have them on your cue. Tell them down, hold, tell them when to stand, so you can watch and see what's going on, okay? So that's the air squat. That's the first thing we ever teach them, okay? So remember that, memorize that one. Okay, next, kettlebell swing. It gets easier after that first one. They start to understand what's going on. It's easier to teach them, okay? Stance. Okay, what I tell them is a little bit closer in than their squat stance. We don't want hips directly underneath. You want to make some room for it. Okay, you don't have to explain that to them though. Okay, full grip around the kettlebell. A lot of times they'll put a few fingers there. To watch that sometimes. Make sure they get a full grip on it. Okay. From here, I show them how to show them a couple reps. So I'll show them how to go all the way overhead. And once you've shown them, explain it. I'm going to send my hips back and rock forward. Rock back, rock forward. The quicker I rock forward and rock back, the higher the kettlebell is going to go. Usually we just go to eye level the first time. Okay? So make sure when they're doing that, you're telling them that their arms are ropes. Okay? They're just holding on. They're not controlling it. They're not using their arms to get up. They're using their legs and their hips to rock it forward. Okay? If they struggle with this, a few things you can do. Sometimes I've seen Dan, if you guys remember Dan, he used to be here, he really likes just giving them one arm to do it. Sometimes it helps for people to understand, okay? It helps them feel it a little bit better, because with one arm you can't try to bring it up. For me, I just kind of try to keep helping them, showing them with rocking their hips, or think about jumping. Jumping to me helps a lot of people with coming up. Okay. Other thing is when they're using this, they need to stay tight. Okay. Especially when they're coming up. When they're here, a lot of times you see people lean back, rock back. So you make sure they're squeezing their butt tight, squeezing their belly tight. And almost everything we do, we want to squeeze our butt, squeeze our belly. So we're in a strong, steady position and not a weak one. Okay, or a weak one forward. All right. So that is our kettlebell swing. All right. Sit up. I'm gonna grab an admin. Sit up. This is another easy one to teach, but explain to them the part of the ab mat. I still see a lot of people nowadays using it this way, which is not beneficial at all. Make sure that it's the big hump to the lower back, or it looks like it's written upside down. So when you come up, feet come, touch together, okay? That ab mat is touching your lower butt. Feet together, either like a butterfly or over top, okay? Either or, it doesn't matter. The main thing is we want them to keep their feet together and on the ground, okay? So from here, you're gonna lay back, touch the ground behind you, straight arms, okay? Throw those arms up, sit up tall, okay? Over-exaggerate your posture when you're doing this, okay? We don't want to be rounded forward. We don't want to be like turtles, okay? So sit up tall, enforce good posture, and make sure they're using their arms as much as possible, okay? And make sure they're breathing the whole time. A lot of people, when they first do sit-ups, especially for the first time, hold their breath the whole time, okay? So they need to be making sure that they're using their breathing, or if they're gonna do more than 3, they're gonna have to stop, okay? So, that's our sit-up, okay? Deadlift, all right? Deadlift, I'm not gonna show these, the deadlift or shoulder press with the bar. We can talk about that kind of stuff later. But anyways, both times you would teach them with the PVC pipe first. So deadlift, I always explain, we're gonna practice it standing up like we already have the bar, but eventually we're gonna come down to our shins, and that's where the bar would be if we had plates on each side, okay? But my stance, my feet are gonna be directly underneath my hips, okay? Thumbs length away from my pockets, all right? This is where my grip's gonna be, full grip around, okay? So when I show the pockets thing, a lot of people will keep their thumbs like this, all right? You need to make sure that they put a full grip around it, all right? Because it's a bad habit that they start to do in everything else, and presses and everything else, okay? So from here, just like before, I'm gonna send my hips back, okay? I'm gonna come straight down until I get to the middle of my shin. My back is tight, okay? I have my chin in line, okay? I'm not tucked in and I'm not looking up. All right, I have what would be a good position for my neck. All right, from here, I'm gonna stay tight, stand, hips and shoulders rise at the same time. Bar is touching me all the way until I stand up, okay? Make sure that they touch themselves all the way up and down, okay? They need to feel that it's close to them, okay? It needs to be there because the farther out it is, the more risk you have of throwing at your back, okay? So they need that in close. All right, so again, here, hips back, come down to the middle of my shin, I stop, butt back, okay? You can see my position, my back is here, my head's up, my hips are low. I'm not straight line and I'm not straight up and down, okay? I'm not doing a clean, all right? And I'm not a tabletop. I'm right in between, okay? All right? You can tell them about the faults. I always tell the joke about the stripper, my butt back, and I come up. It just makes them laugh. It's just funny. But I mean, it actually does happen a lot too. So, shoulder press, last one. Okay? Feet directly underneath our hips again. Thumbs length away from our pockets and our grip again. Okay? Some of these start repeating and then they start to get it, okay, in a row, so it makes it a lot easier. From here, now this is good for most of us guys too that we can't get the bar sitting on our shoulders, okay, with the PVC pipe because there's no weight. That's fine. I tell people, put it underneath my chin, okay? And then bring my elbows forward. Once they get a bar out, it's gonna come, unless they're really, really tight, like Dre, besides him, okay? It's gonna come and it'll sit here, okay? We got our elbows forward. We're squeezing our butt and belly tight, okay? We talked about that before, okay? Making sure that's tight as possible. I bring my head back and make a double chin, okay? Head back, double chin, and then I press straight up. So I'm locked down, I bring my head all the way through and I look through the window. Okay? From there, I bring that head back again. Elbows in front on the way back down. Okay? I like to say pointing towards the wall in front of you. So you get all the way back down and then bring your chin back over. Okay? So head back, press, that's the cue. Have them hold, go check them. Head back, come back down. Okay? Or reset. Head back, press, hold. I'm squeezing everything tight. If I'm not squeezing tight, watch me. If I'm not squeezing tight, I'm overextended, okay? That's when people complain about their back hurting after doing presses and stuff, okay? Because they're not squeezing. So if they're squeezing, everything's in line, okay? Then head back, come back down, reset, all right? So, that's just some verbiage. I want you to try to think about how I'm saying that and saying that over and over and over again, okay? And over time, you'll kind of pick up some own things that you want to say, but we want to have still the same key terms when we're teaching things so that everyone knows what we're talking about, especially with new people if they're switching classes and stuff like that. So keep watching this stuff over. When we have our next coaches meeting, not this Saturday, but the next one that we have, if you come to that, then we'll go over, we work on these kinds of things and what to say and stuff. Okay. See you guys later.